Hey guys, Joshua from Victory Installers channel. I'm going to be going over the nitrous kit real quick, and I'm not going to go into too much detail. I apologize because when I hooked it up, it's kind of time consuming to actually get this kit installed. Well, it's really not, but I spent extra time on it making sure that everything was dressed inside of the motorcycle. But what I'm going to do is give you guys a quick run through and a brief kind of overview on how everything got installed. And by any means, if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me, email me, whatever you guys feel like doing. And I'm just going to go over this real quick. So what we have is the torque tubes are here. And they're obviously already drilled and tapped, and everything's ready to go inside of here is from what you can see. And I have my nitrous lines themselves running over here on the right-hand side of the bike. So right here you can see, here's your original, one of your sensors from your old intake, and all of the Lloydz fuel programmers actually tied against this actual piece of the, on the right hand side, because it makes the most sense. It was easiest for me, and like I said, I tied all these sensors from the old intake in here pretty tight, so that way you just don't want to hear anything rattle around while you're actually working on the bike. So the nitrous line is actually right here, as you can kind of see. I know it's a little bit rough. So the nitrous line actually runs through here, and I have it down through the front. And the lines actually come all the way down to the bracket. So here's the Lloydz bracket. As you can see, we got our nitrous line, and we have the power and everything for the actual solenoid. And I actually put the loom around it. Now, when you get the kit, it's going to be bare wires. I'm kind of picky when it comes to dressing all the wires, so everything was dressed in loom for me. I dressed that in loom. The only thing I didn't put in loom was this little, the actual hose for the nitrous itself. So, but I got everything tucked in nice and neat. So I showed you where the nitrous line comes in. The power I actually ran up inside of the neck here, and you can see it kind of loops around, and I actually ran it down in behind this cheese wedge. You can kind of see the wire here, and right here is where the arming switch is, underneath here. Now, in the instructions, it tells you to actually mount it against the cheese wedge itself, like the actual plastic piece. But what I did is I kind of went for a little bit more of a trick look, and when you actually have this cheese wedge on, you can kind of see it's hidden more back here behind the corner. You just measure it out, drill it. It's real easy to get to still. I mean, obviously it might be a little bit hot when you get the motor running, but when you're standing back here, it's not as noticeable. It's kind of got a nice, really clean look. I'll snap another picture of it when I get the bike all put back together, but that's where I have that. So the next thing I'm kind of going to touch base on is inside of the harness. It's really neat because there's 3 wires. They all plug in. It's underneath here by the horn. When you turn the bike on with the switch off, your horn works. But when you actually come down here, flip the switch, arm it, your horn button now actually becomes your nitrous valve button. And you can kind of hear, so I'm going to come down here and hit the horn button, but with your little valve, you can hear it's actually running right now. So that's actually a really, really awesome. It's pretty stealthy. I mean, aside from the big shiny bottle, because I picked the polished one, yeah, it's going to be a little less noticeable, but you'll still notice it. So in the kit with the wiring, there's another wire here, and I have it obviously in loom. It's a white wire, and I got to tell Danny again, thank you so much, Danny at Lloydz, because he was very patient with me in describing on where this wire was. To run the nitrous kit on the Lloydz, you have to have the VFC Gen 3, which is the Victory Fuel Controller by Lloydz. It's the 3rd generation one. It looks like this little credit card here. Right next to the ground wire, there's this little white wire here. And it threw me through a loop because it's actually inside of this little plastic harness, but it's not connected to anything. You have to pull it back out of this harness and then actually get it connected. So hopefully that will alleviate some of the pain whenever you're actually installing the kit, but you got to have the Lloydz programmer to actually put this whole kit in. So if you guys have any questions on that whatsoever with the actual nitrous kit, please just drop me a call at any time, or drop on my Facebook page, or there's tons of ways to get a hold of me if you guys need any help with any of this. So I'm gonna finish and wrap this up and do one final test, and we will get back to you.